Hello students, today we will study units and measurement and welcome to Sunil Physics Club. So our first chapter is units and measurement. First of all we will see what is physics. So physics is nothing but it is the study of nature and its laws. In physics all the laws, all the derivations has been derived from nature. So it is defined as the study of nature and its laws. It is defined as the study of nature and its laws. Right? In physics, all the laws, all principles have been derived from nature only. You might be knowing the Newton's third law of motion. What this law states? It states that to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Suppose you don't know that I am your teacher and coming in your class and I am giving you slaps, then what will be your reaction? Obviously you will also give me a slap. So this is what about physics. But in physics laws changes time by time, and this may happen due to the fact that nature might be changing its laws as time passes. Classically, you might be knowing about mass. Mass is generally in classical physics is supposed to be constant, but it is not the case. Actually, mass is variable. When Newton came with its when Einstein came with its theory of relativity, then he proved that mass varies with the speed of the particle. We will see later in the same lecture how mass varies. I will give you the relationship also by which the mass varies with the speed of particle. So what I wanted to say you that in physics a scientist come and he gives a law, and it may be changed when time changes. So let us see what about mass, whether mass is constant or variable. So till now we have read that mass is constant, but mass no longer is constant now. It is a variable and it varies with this equation: m equals to m naught divided by under root 1 minus v square by c square. In this relation, m naught is called rest mass. M naught is the rest mass, that is the mass of the particle when it is at rest. M is the mass of particle at velocity v. When the particle has velocity v, then its mass is m, and c is the speed of light, whose value 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So m equals to m naught divided by 1 minus v square by c square is the relation for variation of mass with speed. Suppose a particle assumes the velocity of light. Its velocity just approaches to the velocity of light c, that is v approaches to c. Then from this relation we can show that m tends to infinity, because m naught by under root 1 minus v square c square, v is equal to c, 1 minus 1 is 0, so m naught by 0 tends to infinity. What does it mean? When the particle approaches the speed of light, its mass approaches to infinity. That means the mass of particle increases with its speed. But in classical physics, mass was assumed to be a constant. So this would happens in physics. That's why we study in physics about the nature and its laws, right? Okay, so now we define physics as the nature, as the study of nature and its laws. But in physics we measure some physical quantities. That's why physics is also called the science of measurement. Physics is also the science of measurement, because in physics different physical quantities will be measured, like what is force acting on a body, right? So what we measure in physics, we measure a physical quantity in physics. So first of all we should know what is physical quantity. A physical quantity is that quantity which can be measured. That means measurable quantities are said to be physical quantities. Measurable quantities are called physical quantities, right? So in physical quantities, only those quantities are accepted which can be measured. But those quantities which can't be measured are not categorized as physical quantities. In physics, we measure physical quantity, right? Now we have two types of physical quantity. Types of physical quantities. We have two types of physical quantities. First one is called fundamental physical quantities, and second one is derived physical quantities. Okay, fundamental physical quantities, as it is clear from its name, are those which does not depend on others. They are independent. Okay, does not depend on others. But derived physical quantities depends on others, and others are basically fundamental physical quantities. So derived physical quantities depends on fundamental quantities, right? Fundamental physical quantities are limited in number, but derived physical quantities are not limited, they are numerous. Fundamental physical quantities are 7 in number. Fundamental physical quantities are 7 in number, but derived physical quantities are numerous. Derived physical quantities are numerous, right? Fundamental physical quantities are 7 in number. They are: number 1 is length, second is mass, third one is time, fourth one is electric current, fifth one is thermodynamic temperature, sixth one is luminous intensity, and number seventh is amount of substance. So these 7 physical quantities are termed as fundamental physical quantities. Derived physical quantities are numerous, right? For example, speed, area, volume, acceleration, resistance, potential difference, etc. So derived physical quantities can have many numbers, can be in so many numbers, and they are derived from fundamental physical quantities only. Now, what is measurement? We measure some physical quantities in physics. So the question is, what is measurement? Let us consider a rod. Suppose it is asked to measure the length of the rod, then what will you do? You will bring a measuring tape and compare the rod with that measuring tape or meter scale. Suppose with respect to the meter scale, the length of rod comes out to be 5 times, then we say that the length of the rod is 5 meter, right? So what we did here, we brought unknown physical quantity like meter scale and compared the length of the rod which is unknown, and then we told that the length is 5 meter. So measurement is the process, it is the process of comparing an unknown physical quantity with a known physical quantity. It is the process of comparing an unknown physical quantity with a known physical quantity. So in this example, the unknown physical quantity was the length of the rod and the known physical quantity was the meter scale. So in measurement, we have two terms, like length is 5 meter. That means length has magnitude 5 and 1 meter is there, that is called unit of length. So what is unit? Unit is defined as the standard by which the unknown physical quantity is compared when it is measured, right? So unit is defined as the standard by which the unknown physical quantity is compared when it is measured. For example, length has unit meter